Welcome to Base Touring with Daisy. I'd like to take you to see Rat City. Don't let the name put you off. This is one of the most fun, creative, and imaginative bases I've ever seen. You're going to love it. And no, you enter it through a base portal just like all the other supergroup bases. This isn't really the entrance, but it could be if you use your imagination. Rat City is run by Gizmouse, who's waiting to give me a tour as I step into the supergroup base. Her words will appear in text on the screen. As you can see, the rules are clearly labeled for everyone to follow. This base is creative, imaginative, and fun, but it's not just the base design. Hang on, this is going to be a fun ride. Some RP bases do not have services because it can be difficult to integrate services into the design of a fully roleplay base. But this one's different. We have integrated the services so that they blend right in. Here are the teleporters. The rats would use tunnels to crawl all over the place in Paragon City, and so the rats have teleporters disguised as tunnels. I wanted to be sure and put Gizmouse's speech that she gives on her tour down at the bottom of the screen for you all to see, because I just love how she speaks in character. I think it really adds to the atmosphere of the base. And personally, I think Gizmouse is kind of off the scale in creativity. Not only is her base design wonderfully creative and yet functional and imaginative, but she does all these great stories with her supergroup, and she comes up with these games that are just wildly imaginative. So this is Rat City. There's a lot to see here. I love all the little touches, like the flickering letters that are shorting out, like you might have found them scavenged somewhere, like you were a rat. The description on the top of the screen there in italics, those are some descriptions that she gave that weren't part of what she was saying, but it's part of the atmosphere of the tour. She wanted to point out that it's not sewer water, it's fresh water that they can fish in. We're going to see the deep tunnels a little bit more later on. This is all just kind of part of the atmosphere where the rats and mice and other creatures live. I don't think it's really particularly used. They mostly seem to hang out in the center court, which we will see in just a little bit. Gizmouse seems fairly mercenary. She is very proud of her rat mall. Note the little details of what the fountain actually is. Those are some toilets and various odds and ends, making that rather impressive looking fountain. True to form, Gizmouse has made the base look like stuff that's recycled junk. It looks great. She's also invented her own currency, which we'll explain more about in the bank. One big challenge with this particular video has been pacing, trying to make sure people have the time to read the captions, even if they are a slow reader. And also, hearing my voice talking at the same time can be confusing. So I wanted to be sure and leave enough time for people to be able to do both. Again, with her theme here, I think it's a very clever use of items to have a 90s antique store. And based on the things that are in the editor, it really works well. And also the grocery items and so forth. It works that we only have a few shelves because they would collect the same kinds of things over and over again, because that's what they like to eat. I love the hotel. I love the whole idea of the hotel. And the cost being jars of peanut butter or their peanutty bits. Notice the cars lighting the signs on either side of the hotel. That's another little clever detail. Cars don't actually have lights, of course. She had to make the cars have lights, but most of the signs in Rat City are lit with car headlights, and I just think that's really clever. private suite. Gizmo seemed quite entranced with the spinny ball in the ceiling. Again, lots of great details. Little bathroom and the snack machines and the pizza. The supergroup really likes their pizza. Tell you what, you'll see a lot of pizza-themed things. So now we're going out of the hotel. I don't think I've ever met Gary, but apparently he likes to tinker around with things. And this is where she's got her storage and the workshop and so forth. Most of that is on the level down below, which we will see in just one moment. Here are some of the weapons that they make. As a supergroup, of course, when you're fighting, you're going to need weapons. And there's all the workshop stuff. I love all the signs up here. Of course, one thing about having Gary's Mods and then this arcane store in the mall is it gives any of the characters in her supergroup who have tie-ins to tech and magic tie-in to the base. And here we are at the bank. I think this is Gizmouse's favorite place, actually. I love, again, the car headlights, making the sign all lit up. And come to find out that they have invented an entire currency based on peanut butter. The bank, of course, holds other items valuable to rats, such as large quantities of food, and shiny bits of things that they might collect and scavenge. Here's their money printing press. Note the money and the jars of peanut butter. Here's a citizen turning in scavenged jars of peanut butter in return for some peanutty bit coins. And here's where some of that stuff is measured out. It's all very well run and neat and tidy. Something you wouldn't necessarily expect in a rat city, but this is no ordinary group of rats, that's for sure. But you can imagine that rats would probably store lots of food if they could. And they'd certainly be happy to live in a city like this one. And here's their high-security treasure vault where they store all of the treasures that they've accumulated over the years. Rumor has it there's a pirate treasure in here. On we go. You see the fog sweeping by. This is from a windy tunnel in the mushroom caves, which we will explore later. Right now, we're going to see the rest of the mall. She's really done a great job of taking items from the editor and making a very creative bunch of shops that rats might have in their city. But of course, she wants to appeal to the quote-unquote sunwalkers like ourselves also, so she has a liquor store. And here's a nice vegetable store. Lots of scavenged vegetables, only slightly bruised and dinged. And this is literally garbage, but she sells it really well. Do you see what I mean about maybe just a little mercenary? Gizmouse has lots of space to do future expansions to the base. She often likes to base these on stories that she runs with her supergroup. One such story involved a rescue mission, a hijacked tank, and a miscalculation which resulted in the destruction of the former dance floor. The question for me though is, does she make up her stories so she can change her base, or does she change her base so she can make up her stories? Here's some of her rats having fun on the dance floor. This seems like a very active and enjoyable supergroup. I mean, it seems like they're always doing something. And here's their impressive snack bar. These rats really like their food, and they are very well supplied. I love the upside down car used as a bridge here. I have to say, this is a pretty convincing looking pizza island. As you can see, we got a variety of animals. It's not just rats. We've got an opossum, a cat boy, sloth girl, mice and rat. This is a cute little island for people who like pineapple on their pizza. I thought that was hilarious. And this is a tribute or testimony to how much they really like pizza. And this is everybody's favorite chair, especially Mark from Jokers. You know who you are. Now we're going to go back into the mushroom caves. The way she develops the base is very evolving, where she'll excavate some areas and it'll look like it's under construction or being dug out and things like that, and then she'll change it as she goes and make a story about it. It's really interesting. And this is a rather beautiful cave where they grow mushrooms and so forth, and it's just really kind of neat. She really uses lighting and effects well. I like the crystals back here. They're very beautiful. And the way she has them lit really adds to the ambiance and the beauty of the cave here. There is some story that I was told at one point in time about Spooky Cave, but I cannot remember what it is. If you ever want to talk to Gizmouse, she might tell you about it. The supergroup is open to new members if you're interested. Here's their swimming lake. Here's the one sunny spot they have in the cave. If you look up, you can see the opening or the grate that the light comes through. And farther on down in the cave, you can see it's an old landfill. Things have been dumped here, she says, since the 1700s, which gives her a great way to fit in the pirate ship. And this is Pirate Pete's pirate ship, and apparently he helped them get a treasure that he had hidden before he died, which helped them get their base established. And now we're going to go see the newest, and some might say the best part of Rat City, Rat Beach. This is just so much fun, and it's so pretty. Gizmouse has created just an epic beachfront amusement park here, but it's also just a great party place. I don't know how, but she figured out how to make water slides. We have two here, Warp Speed and Bonsai Mountain. And then we also have the DJ booth in the middle and the whirlpool island behind it, the giant whirlpool behind it. Lots of fun for everybody, including Rat Dunk. I mentioned earlier she's great at coming up with these games. Here are two popular ones, Rat Dunk and Rat Ball, and even a Ferris wheel. At the end of the boardwalk is their tiki bar. There's even a place to change into your swimsuit if you forgot one, and you can even buy one if you haven't gotten one yet. Of course, there are tailors behind each of those doors. This is warp speed. Gizmouse is going to go first and demonstrate how it works. Just step onto the slide. Whoosh! Now it's our turn. The lights really help you keep your orientation. Very creative and lots of fun. You end up in a whirlpool, which is a little hard to get out of, but that's part of the fun. If you have hover or jump pack, that works really well. The taller of the two water slides is Bonsai Mountain. You just go up this path of all the rubble, down the water slide. Really looks like a water slide. It's so well done. And back out at the bottom again. Gizmouse explains that the whole island has this kind of crushed concrete look because it was run over with a steamroller to get it flat, which of course pressed all the junk cars and stuff that were still there into the cement. But it's just overall very beautiful. There are VIP areas for all of the RP groups and supergroups that come to visit. Places like Inferno. Now, of course, only the members of that supergroup can sit in their VIP area. Here's the VIP area for the Wraith Spiders. And the area for the folks from the Oasis Resort supergroup. And the Black Friday VIP area for Black Friday, which is a high-end nightclub. And the Joker's Wild VIP area, which is like a gambling casino. She's even got a Ferris wheel. I love the creativity here. Here's the top car. And here's a car that didn't quite stay on. They are junk cars, after all. I love the variety she's got on this Ferris wheel. It's so creative and imaginative. Yes, that's a bathtub. And that car is upside down. There's a Nemesis horse. And yeah, that's a coffin with umbrellas. This just cracks me up. Love that Ferris wheel. And I mentioned that Gizmouse is super good at coming up with these inventive games. And this is one of my favorites, Rat Dunk. Basically, it's a simple concept. People stand on the poles, people from the supergroup, and they stand there until someone jumps off of the dock and knocks them off, which sounds like it would be simple, but believe me, I stood here for a while till we finally got the person knocked off. That fat post is actually pretty hard to knock people off of because it's fat. The skinnier posts are much easier. So for parties, they give prizes based on how difficult it is to get somebody off of the post. The Tiki Bar is right next to their most popular game, Rat Ball. Rat Ball is somewhat similar to Rat Dunk in that someone is standing on top of the posts. They have 3 to 5 people who are doing that. And then there are 2 teams of 5 each on opposite sides. And it's kind of like volleyball with rats. Once the game starts, in the Pizza Arena, I love that name. Again, with the pizza theme here, we have 10 people bopping back and forth, trying to knock people off the post. So that would be a lot of fun to sit and watch. And this is score 1 for Team Olive. If you want to play, you would just sit in one of these chairs, and whichever color group you're in, that's the team you're on. That's the end of my tour. I hope you've had as much fun as I have. If you want to visit Rat City, the code is RATCity2259 on Everlasting, or get in touch with @CrazyCat. Thanks for watching, and thanks to Gizmouse and all of the rats from Rat City. Bye!